Hello Commanders, welcome back to the journey walkthrough here at the command table. I am Mathermar and we are now on the Uncharted Jungle. We're on map 1 of 3 doing battles 151 through 155. So before we get into that, if you'd please be so kind as to like, subscribe, and if you want notifications when I drop new videos, hit that notification bell. And if you have any comments, please feel free to leave those below. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're on map 151. And for this one, let's take a peek. Alright, you got a battle wagon here. That's going to be countered by my mine shrooms. So even if it takes half the map to get to the mine shroom will still carry it all the way to the back of the map. The only time you ever run into trouble with that is if they have their own mine shrooms, or if the wagon has slow on it, then it won't make it all the way there. Sometimes you'll have a season where you've got resist stones, but since this is Journey, we don't have to worry about any of that. The wagon's going to make it all the way to the back, and it's going to convert 3 points in my direction. You're also going to see some of these units get sucked up into those mine shrooms because they'll chase after the wagon and then they'll start running back. So what I've done down here, I've got a Valkyrie that's tagged on to this Brute. Now, the trick for that is the Brute is the closest healable unit to the Valkyrie. Everything else is way the heck up here intentionally. So this allows me to keep the Brute on a leash way the heck out there, and everything's going to gravitate to that Brute, and my Valkyrie is going to be totally safe. So that's what I'm hoping to accomplish. I did put one set of assassins in to take out this ranged, and we'll see how this plays out. Let's give it a go. Okay, so watch that wagon. Poof, now the paladins chase after it, and now they're both in line to run into those mine shrooms. And the Brute is holding everything back nicely. All of the enemy ranged is dead, thanks to the assassins. So it's just a matter of cleaning up. The paladin pops out, but it's not hard to finish it off. Alright, the Ember Fiend is very helpful in this setup because it does percentage-based damage, so when you've got something like a Paladin, it does a great job melting it down. Alright, we've got a catapult up here that we're going to resolve with this bomb bot. It'll hit the wall, but the catapult is also within range, even if it does hit the wall, to be taken out by the bomb. We've got this set of assassins that's supposed to split between these two groups. I've got them vertically aligned, and again, it's the same trick of moving them off the map and on the map until they've got the right formation within the group. We're doing the same trick with the Brute. We're going to keep everything at bay just by holding that position and keeping the Valkyrie way back so that it doesn't get hit by anything. And then we've got some ranged DPS to help burn it down. The Earth Elemental is immune to fire, as well as just about everything else. So the Ember Fiend isn't going to help with that, but that's why we've got some of the other ranged units. This is to clear that up just since I had an extra point, might as well. So let's go ahead and run it. Okay, goodbye Catapult, goodbye Archers, and goodbye one group of Shield Bearers. Now it's just a matter of grinding through. The Ember Fiend will do great on the Shield Bearers. It'll give it percentage damage if they ever get hit. There we go. And then, yeah, Hammer Throwers and Archers doing a good job of burning down the Earth Elemental. Very nice. Alright. So we are now on to 153. Let's see what we've got here. Alright, we've got a giant toad, we've got a monster hunter, we've got a Brute, 2 groups of warhounds, 2 groups of archers, a group of direwolves, and an assassin. So what I've done for these assassins, I've put a freezing trap. This isn't necessarily the best choice for what to do, but I just figured I'd show it. You can put a freezing trap there. The instant that they pop over, they're going to freeze, and then all this ranged DPS is just going to unleash on it. The other things you could have done is put a Thorn Guard in the back and maybe dropped one of your ranged DPS for it so that you'd have the extra point when you drop the Frost Trap and one other thing. The bomb bot is intended to run right through the center and hopefully pick up some of these warhounds that'll converge on it as it blows up the monster hunter. The monster hunter is totally immune to ranged damage, so yeah, unless it hits a frost trap, that would be another alternative, is to put a frost trap somewhere in the front that it would run into, but I figured why not just blow it up. The assassins are there to split and to take out the two sets of archers, and the brute is intended to act as a counter to the giant toad and the other brute. Well, pretty much everything that's left, but the toad can't eat the brute, and the other brute is just going to sit there beating on it while my brute gets healed. So, should be pretty straightforward. Let's see how it goes. That's my alarm to feed my dog her meds. Okay, there's a bit of an issue you can see there with the warhounds popping out. Fortunately, they ran back to the brute. They could have eaten my Valkyrie, though, and that might have caused some problems. I don't think it would have turned the battle. I think I still would have got it, even if my brute went down. Okay, so there's that. Now we're moving on to... Did we just do... Sorry, that alarm threw me off. Okay, yes, now we're on 154. Alright, let's have a look. We have an untamed beast that we're going to resolve with the bomb bot. We've got some shield bearers that I'm going to resolve with this bomb bot, but we've moved it further back. The reason for that is that I don't want the bomb bot to get caught in the tree and to blow up prematurely. So we're giving it some distance to run forward and allow the shield bearers the same privilege to run forward, and they will meet the bomb bot hopefully well out of the range of the tree. The assassins, in the meantime, are going to grind down that tree pretty quickly. And then for the rest of it, all that's going to be left is this earth elemental and a druid. So the theory here is that since the wraiths are immune to freeze, that they'll just run right through these frost traps, chop down the druid, and then go to work on the earth elemental. Also, the warhounds and the ranged DPS, it's way overkill for just one earth elemental. That's all that's going to be left. But even if all of that fails, it would still very slowly have to walk through these entangling roots to get to that crystal spire. So totally unnecessary. It's not going to get to that point, but that is the plan. Okay, goodbye beast, goodbye tree, goodbye shield bearers and druid. And yep, so going down very quickly, not even going to utilize the crystal spire or the entangling roots. Alright, one more, and we will call it for this video 155. Alright, let's take a peek. So here we have an earth elemental with a frost wizard, then we've got a storm caller with two sets of crows, the murder of crows, and then we've got an untamed beast, which is next to a spider's nest, which is difficult to see. Then we've got our molten armor and a phoenix up front. So a quick note about this front line setup. I've put my bomb down. So if you're going to replicate this and you're going to put your bomb right in front of those two, you want to put it down a little bit so that it runs directly into the molten armor. If you run it into the phoenix first, the molten armor will probably be just far enough away to where it won't totally go down. So I would recommend just having it slightly down so that you hit that. These assassins, they're meant to hit the frost wizard first, then run to the earth elemental. And then these assassins are only going to get the stormcaller. All of the crows are going to be flying this direction. The untamed beast is going to actually attack the construct of the spider's nest. It won't hit the spiders themselves, but it will attack the construct, and it'll grind that down. So I figured, why not just let it? That removes that from the equation, and then I'll deal with the untamed beast later as it runs up this way and hits the entangling roots and then gets nuked by all the range. The crows are going to be resolved by having a lot of bodies. So we're going to have, there's 8 in that group, 7 in that group, 7 in that group, 5 in that group. So there's a whole lot of bodies here that are going to be targets for those crows, which should leave these crystal spires totally open. The hammer throwers and the archers have a difficult time hitting the crows, but the crystal spires are spot on every time, and they'll nuke the crap out of them. So that's why I had a bunch of bodies here. That's going to soak the hits from the crows and should leave at least one of the crystal spires up to be firing at all times. So that's the theory behind this one. Keep an eye on that Untamed Beast and that Molten Armor. Those were kind of the two key elements that you want to have resolved. Here goes. Okay, Stormcaller down, Untamed Beast killing his own spider's nest, and the crows, okay, the crows do hit one of the crystal spires, but we always have at least one up to be able to grind them through. Now you'll notice the Untamed Beast very slowly working through those roots, and it's not going to matter, he's going down. So yeah, it gets a little dicey here towards the end, but it worked out well enough. You may have an issue in the future in other eras because you may not have the corrupted enhance, which I was using on those entangling roots. So they've got a lot more slow in them than normal. You could, if you needed to, put a freezing trap there and that would freeze the Untamed Beast, but it may also get triggered by a crow. So you might have to run it a few times to get it to work. So anyway, there's the next 5 videos, 151 through 155. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe. And check out thecommandtable.com where we have tutorials, raid strats, and soon we will have merch and comics, all relating to Traplight's Battle Legion. Thanks for watching. We will see you soon.